I feel Freeform is one of the most underrated app by Apple. It has lots of potential for every kind of a user, and I feel everyone needs Freeform in their life, be it professional or personal. If you are in Apple ecosystem or own an Apple device like an iPhone, a Mac or iPad, this is a free default app that came somewhere in mid of December with the OS updates iOS, iPadOS 16.2 and Mac OS Ventura 13.1. Freeform is basically a mood boarding or a brainstorming app. It is quite different from Notes and Notion or any other app like that, wherein Notes and Notion is more of having a structure towards your thought, but Freeform is basically, as the name says, it's totally unstructured but with such a gamification of shapes and different kind of objects, a digital board wherein you can just understand your thoughts and take out whatever best and structure that you can. I've been using this app from approximately last 3 months, and I really love this app and still in a exploration mode. Before Freeform, I didn't have any idea how to use my Apple Pencil. But when I started using Freeform, this is getting used. Let's jump to this app and I'll tell you the potential, the functionalities of this app. Plus I'll tell you how I use this app and I'll tell you some of the issues and maybe uses of this app. So if you open Freeform, so you will see lots of boards on the right hand side. And left hand side you can see the classification of these boards, something like all boards, recent, shared, favorites or recently deleted. You can see the black background, it is due to the night mode. If you change it into a day mode, then it is a white. All of this is synced to your iCloud. So to make sure that all of your Apple devices, which is iPhone, iPad, your Macs, are synced to it, make sure that in the iCloud, if you go into the iCloud and go somewhere here and search for Freeform, make sure that this is highlighted. On right hand side you can see different boards. So we'll jump into one of these boards. I'll show you 2-3 of my boards how I use it. But before that, if you see, there are 4 or 5 options on the right hand side, top right hand side. You can search any of your boards, whatever your boards like. If I search iPhone, so there are 2 boards for that. This is the list or the grid option. So currently it is in the icon form. You can also do it in the list form wherein you have the complete list of all of your boards. I personally like this. And you can also sort by date, sort by name, whatever works for you, but I have sorted out by dates. You can use groups as well, wherein date wise you can have a complete list of whatever boards are there. Let's create a new board and explore. If you see, this is an infinite canvas which can be zoomed to a 10% and maximum of 400%. If you see the untitled here, you can go to the options, you can rename it. So let's rename this first and we'll write test board, and you can make a duplicate of that. You can put in this as your favorite. You can find within the board, once you start filling it, you can find things within the board. Best option what I like is hide the grid. It's a plain canvas and you can export whatever you make it as a PDF, which can be used anywhere in your presentations, in your mails, or you can send it to anybody, and you can do multiple things with this PDF. It's a high resolution PDF. Now if you see the first option, which shows a pen, so this is a default Apple Pencils collection of brushes and pens. So this is a pen wherein you can use this for the opacity. So if you see, this is less opaque and this is like full opaque. This is the difference, and thickness of the nibs you can change, the color you can change, the multiple things that you can do with this. So this is basically kind of a pencil, and this is a crayon. So let's say you write something here as tag appetite, and let's say you want to highlight it with a red background. So you can just select like this and highlight. Basically comes in the background, so it's a kind of a highlighter but not exactly the highlighter. And this is, of course, you can remove anything, and this is like a pixel eraser or an object wherein you can just go and click and you can erase it, something like this. And this is a selector. Basically selector is used for, let's say you have to just select this portion. So you select this and you can move it anywhere. Let's say you want to resize it, you can resize it. you want to move in any direction. Even you can change colors. Let's say you want to change colors of the highlighted portion. So once you have drawn, also you can change into multiple colors. The good thing is, if you see that it shows currently this is the end of the canvas, you just have to draw something here, and again there is more space. So this is like a infinite canvas and there is no end to it. The second option that comes are sticky notes. So these are basically the sticky notes which you can resize, you can change color. There are 7 colors only which you can change into. So you can go and change any color, whatever you want. You can have all kind of indentations, align left, align center, align right, whatever you want. Even align top, bottom, etc. You can italicize, you can underline, you can have a bold, you can change the font size, and you can also have bullet points or whatever numbered points. You can double tap and whatever you can write it. This is a test document. I love this freeform. Now you can duplicate it with this option and again make a duplicate of that, maybe with a different color. If you do like this, and there is a 3 dots, and you can go and see if you want to do this like this. I mean, whichever note you want to do it at the back or at the front, you want this at the back, you can cut it, you can duplicate it, you can lock it. If you're collaborating with multiple people and you don't want them to touch anything, you can lock any of the objects or anything or any part of the board. But the bad part is that you cannot lock the whole board, which I feel should be an option given to the user. Coming back to the favorite tool in all of this is shapes. In shapes, if you go to the basic different kind of lines, you can do an arrow, you can resize it, you can go into this options, you can make it dotted or hand written, and you can increase the points of this, basically change colors according to whatever. Start is none. You can have both arrows, you can have this, you can have this. I mean, there are options to modify this arrow as well. Same options are there. These are the squares, and the green dot, if you see, it's for the radius. You can make it totally round. See how smooth this is. You can make it a perfect square, a rounded square. And if you go into the options of this, you can have no fill, basically empty it, and maybe do an outline to it of whatever color you want. You can change the all those text options are there. Plus you can have different kind of fonts according to your choice. If you go into the shapes, there is geometry, there are objects, there are animals. Like you can use it in your office projects, your school projects, college projects, and whatnot. The fourth tool is basically a simple text box. It's nothing but just typing something, whatever you want. You can go and type anything. You can select it, change the color. You can have all the options, basically font size change and etc. Now this is a great option wherein you can add your photo videos from the gallery. So let's say I want to add Kian's photos. So I'll go and add, I can resize it, I can go and crop this in whatever size I want. I can select and I can see the whole photo like this. I can make a duplicate of that. You can go here and just mark up and say cute boy, he's very cute. The second option in this is camera, wherein you can just open and whatever you want to shoot, you can just shoot, click a photo, video. Let's say I click this photo and I'll keep it here. Same editing options would be there. Just make it at the back, so it will go at the back of everything. The third option is scan, so you can scan anything, something in notes. And let's say you go to link and let's say I want to add my YouTube page here. So I will do youtube.com/@techappetite and insert. So it will have a thumbnail. It will have a clickable link wherein you can go and see there, have a thumbnail to it. Let's say it's a YouTube page, so it will have a profile picture of that YouTube page. So you can go and just click and go on the page of, you can go to my page. So this is also great. And of course you can go and insert from your latest. Let's say I want to add this You can go into the file system and add anything. And let's say I want to add this icon of Freeform, so I can go add change. I'll show you few of my boards which I made. I'm not so much artistic or something very, I'm not very much creative, but I try to use it in whatever best way I can. If you go to the right, there are option of undo, so you can if you can see, you can doing undo. If you hard press it, you can undo and redo as well. There's a share option. You can go through messages and I can share with anybody I want. People can come collaborate, and who can access, anybody with the link can access, and you can change permission wherein they have just a view only, or they can make some changes, or they can even invite somebody or not. So all these things are there. For this video, before starting or before having the final content, I did some brainstorm and tried to figure out some points. So I'll just show you exactly how I do that. So this was something I have done. So the first thing I basically do for every video is to understand what problem I'm trying to solve, and who will watch this video. So I write my questions here. Then the next thing, I try to figure out the right title, because I feel my narration, my content should depend on the title, rather going vice versa, making content first and figuring out the title and the thumbnail later. So I currently try to do title and what kind of thumbnail I should have, what it should have. Then I do some kind of a market research. I try to get some hang of the videos that are available in the market on YouTube or on different platforms. I try to read the blogs, whatever blogs are there. So I try to copy paste the link here, and this is how it comes, all the thumbnails and everything. Post that, I try to write some important points which I feel I should have in my video. So I write it here, in some way like this. And here is basically the final script, which I do it in Notion. So scripts mostly are bullet points, not word by word script. It cannot be done, but yeah, I try to write a complete narration, the complete flow of the video, how will it go, what are the points that I ponder upon. Now if I talk about the issues with this app is totally Apple centric, something Apple likes it. So anybody who's in the Apple ecosystem or having an iPad, iPhone, they can only use it. Non-Apple person currently are not able to use it, but I feel Apple will add that sooner or later, because also the FaceTime, when it was launched, it was like we will have only Apple devices using this FaceTime, but even Android can use the FaceTime. The second issue what I feel is when you have a larger team and you're working with your team and there are multiple people on the canvases, so exactly where the person is, what change they are making. But let's say you're not on the canvas and they're doing some change, and you later on go and see, and you actually don't know who made that change, at what time did they do, or you want to check some edit history or anything, which is not there in this Freeform, which I feel should be there once you're having a larger team and working with a larger team. So one issue I faced is missing of strokes with Apple Pencil. In few of my boards, if I see what I've written on the iPad with the Apple Pencil, and if I see that on the Mac or iPhone, there's a distortion. So this is a great tool, and somebody who wants to brainstorm, if you're a college going student, you are in school and you have some projects, you want to work with your friends on any of the project, you can easily do with this. You're in a meeting, you want to express some kind of a thought and explain it in a very right manner, not just a Google sheet or maybe a PowerPoint presentation or a Google slide presentation, but you want to tell and make them understand with some pictorial representation in an unstructured manner. You can do that. If I do any project, be it personal or professional, my first go-to app is Freeform. I try to create a canvas, my thoughts, whatever is there about that topic, about that project, and try to capture it there. And then I move to Notion or any other app. But the first go-to app for me for any kind of project is Freeform. It's a digital board basically. So it's very, very useful, and you can be too much creative also in that. You can also do great personal stuffs like doing journaling if you love to write, so you can journal also with some good representations as well. You can do bullet journals, which is also really awesome. Having clarity of your mind. You can do your mind mapping. You can track your habits, make your own Kanban system and track it. You can also have a good social media posts. This app is basically for any person. Whatever thoughts you have in your mind, you can just freely, unstructurally write it there and then try to absorb it, take out some good structure from that, and whatever project you're working, whatever you're doing, and just excel in that. So I've included this in my workflow and I'm really loving it. Do tell me, how are you using this app or going to use it? So what is your use case and how you will use it? So thanks for watching. See you in the next video.